CoastLife, if you are in the giving spirit, one organization that you can always give back to is our friends with Habitat for Humanity of Sussex County. And we've got two friends joining us on the CoastLife couch. We've got Kevin Gilmore and Bobbi Barends joining us from Habitat for Humanity of Sussex County. Welcome, guys. Welcome back, Kevin.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's great to have you guys. You're with such a wonderful organization. And not only do you guys do so much work that benefits our community here in Sussex County, but you take that spirit and your ability to give and you take it abroad. So you guys just got back from Guatemala, is that correct?
We did, yeah.
Amazing. Tell us about this trip, how it was, what you were doing, all of the details so we can live through you.
Sure. Well, I'll get us started. And
sure.
So we just got back from Guatemala. There was 14 of us from Delaware who were there for a week. And we were with Habitat for Humanity. They're in country doing all kinds of projects, mostly around what they call their Healthy Homes program. And so we were pouring floors, concrete floors. We were building wood stoves with chimneys so the smoke go outside.
Perfect.
And we were even digging holes for latrines. So we can tell you more about that.
The less glamorous part of the job. Bobbi, for you, what was this experience like? Have you been on many trips with Habitat for Humanity before? How does this kind of compare to trips in the past, or how does it inspire maybe trips in the future?
Yeah, so I've never gone on a global trip with Habitat. I've done many local volunteer builds and different things. I've served on the board for Habitat for the past 6 years and just cycled off. So I had the privilege of going on this global build, and it was just absolutely amazing. What a wonderful opportunity to get to know the individuals in the country, really to to give back in a different way, and to see Habitat's mission in action, not just here in Sussex County, but globally, and it's pretty impactful.
I bet it is. So when you're on a build like this, on a trip like this, are you interacting with the community that you're building for? Because I think sometimes, you hear about these trips and people are kind of kept separate. You've got your organization that's building, and then you've got the community that you're helping, and there's not a lot of crossover or interaction. But is that the case with Habitat for Humanity?
Oh my goodness, we were so into the community, and the local Habitat group there really does an excellent job at hosting us. And part of the goal was not just the products of building that we were doing, but was that the interaction with the local community. So we worked side by side with the families. We were mixing concrete and they were mixing concrete, and we were carrying buckets and they were carrying buckets. And we even broke bread together every day, where we had lunch together with the families, and just really spent a lot of time trying to get to know them, and vice versa, for them to get to know us as well.
I mean, it sounds like such an inspiring trip, and I think it sounds like such an incredible and unique experience. Are there, I think, Bobbi, you kind of mentioned it too, to see Habitat for Humanity's mission in action. Could you remind our viewers really kind of what the mission statement of Habitat for Humanity is, if they don't know?
Yeah, sure. So, the mission of the organization is to put God's love in action by building homes, communities, and hope. And that's certainly, we didn't build homes this time, but we did lay a lot of concrete floors, and as Kevin said, dug pretty deep holes for latrines. But we definitely saw the community and felt like part of the community, I think, Kevin, you would agree. There was a lot of hope. Yeah. And so, and hope for the families that we served, but I would say for the team that went, gave us a lot of hope as well.
I love that. And Bobbi as well, because you said this was your first global trip with Habitat for Humanity. How would you say the similarities and differences are between a trip like this, when you're building in a community that's not here in Sussex County, versus what it looks like to be boots on the ground here in our community?
Well, one of the things I would say is, and we kind of joked about this as a team, when we want cement, we call a cement truck, and they come and they bring it and they pour it where we want it, and clearly we were, doing things the way our Guatemalan friends and family now do things. And so we use shovels and buckets and lots of sand and lots of stone, and mixed everything by hand. And, it just is a different way of doing things. It's not right or wrong, it's just different, and it's their way of doing things. And so I have a lot of respect for these individuals. And when Kevin said we were working alongside the families, I mean, there were times they took shovels from us because they wanted to be part of it,
That's
so,
awesome.
like, oh no, it's my turn, So one of the things that I love about Habitat is one of the kind of the slogans is it's a hand up, not a handout. And I really saw that too, like they didn't just sit back and say, oh, our friends from Habitat are here.
Right.
They and neighbor boys, family members, the community.
That's awesome.
And I loved that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that does sound like such a great thing that you can take from your Guatemalan friends and family and bring that back here to Sussex County and share with everybody in our community. But we're not done with these guys hanging out with Habitat for Humanity, because maybe this story feels so inspiring to you that you want to get involved. We're going to talk some more volunteer opportunities and ways that you can give back with Habitat for Humanity in Sussex County when this episode. You were watching CoastLife, and before the break, we were chatting with our friends from Habitat for Humanity in Sussex County about their trip abroad to Guatemala, and what an inspiring trip it has been. We've got Kevin Gilmore and Bobbi Barends still on the CoastLife couch with us, and you were telling us all about this amazing trip. And one of the things that we didn't get to dive into just yet was you had mentioned that you guys were pouring concrete for the floors. How are some of those homes, different from ours? I mean, I think a lot of people maybe picture a world away, but they're not entirely sure what that picture looks like.
Right. Yeah, we're in a country with this huge dichotomy of wealth and not really much of a middle class at all, but an extremely large poverty group, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of houses are different than what we might have here in Sussex County or in the United States, where a typical house for the vast majority of people might just be some wooden sticks or some corrugated aluminum walls and a roof. Where inside they might cook over an open fire, and then the smoke kind of just billows inside the kitchen and then kind of finds its way out through the different openings in the house.
I see.
So doing a floor in a place where most houses are dirt floors really reduces infection and disease. And then by making a stove where there's a chimney and the smoke goes outside, reduces a lot of ill health effects. The leading cause of health issues for women in Guatemala is respiratory issues, and it's because they're the primary cooks in the house.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so these are some of the things that Habitat's doing. In addition to building houses, they're building a lot of houses in Guatemala, but they also have offered these services to the most poor to really help improve the quality of life.
Yeah, I think that's a great mission and a great lesson that a lot of people can be open-minded about, and just something to keep in the back of your mind. And you said that this was such a great trip, and a lot of people within your group are already talking about going back. Are there plans to make this a return trip, an annual trip?
Yeah. So day 2, I think, Kevin, our group of 14 said we need to go back next year, and so we are hoping to make this an annual trip down to Guatemala to serve, and it certainly would be open to anyone who would be interested. And so certainly Sussex County Habitat for Humanity would have information that we'd be sharing, and you can certainly contact the office for more information. But again, next year we're hoping to do it again.
Fantastic. Well, I know some people are probably, hearing this, they're feeling like they want to get involved, maybe, or at least just start out getting involved on a local level. What opportunities do you have for volunteers, maybe new volunteers that are looking for a way to help our own community here in Sussex County?
Yeah, well, we have a vision of a world where everybody has a decent place to live, and that is in Guatemala, it's in Sussex County, and it's everywhere in the world, in all 70 countries that Habitat operates in. But we're here every day working in Sussex County towards that same vision, and we're building houses, renovating houses, repairing houses, providing financial literacy education so people can improve their own houses. And the affordable housing crisis is not an international one, it's also a very local one, and we know that all too well here in Sussex County. So we're working towards that, and we welcome volunteers who want to physically come out and help with that mission. We're building houses 5 days a week in different areas around the county. Also, if anybody wants to financially support the work that we do, houses don't just build themselves, and they're not free.
That is true.
So we a lot of fundraising involved to help make those opportunities affordable to those who are buying our houses.
That's awesome. So for folks who want to get involved, should they just check out your website for information?
That's definitely the easiest way to find out more information. You can check out the website, you can learn where we're building and what days we're building, and if in doubt, you can also call the office and find out some more information.
I love that. And for folks who maybe aren't quite ready for that volunteer stage yet, but they still want to help out, do you have any events coming up that people can get involved in to help give back to Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah, we actually have a really fun event coming up
Great one.
in March, which is just around the corner, March 20th.
It is. Woo.
So this is an annual fundraising event we do called Look Who's Cooking.
Fun.
And it's a really fun way for people in the housing industry to come out as volunteer chefs
fun.
And it's a little competition amongst the volunteer chefs. So
Yeah.
we do it at St. Jude's on March 20th in the evening. It's a great time to come out, socialize, and also to help us raise some money to build and renovate affordable houses.
Perfect. So you've got some fun events. You've got great ways to give back, and if you really want to, get your hands dirty and help build homes, you've got plenty of ways to do that. Well, thank you guys for coming in today and telling us all about not just the wonderful trip that you took, but the wonderful work that you do here in Sussex County as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. Speaking of homes, though, maybe you are looking for a new dream home, a new dream community. We've got one to check out when CoastLife gets back.